Hey, welcome to the Riverside. This is Avett's story about when he met a snake. When we're out walking, there's one kind of animal that stops me in my tracks every time. They're different than every other animal I've ever come across, and for some reason they kind of creep me out because of it. Yesterday, we came across a snake that was tiny, and yet it still seemed fearless, and it seemed as if it was trying to stop Jig from going any further. I've noticed that snakes will even stop Jig in his tracks, and this snake was shorter than Jig's shoe and about as wide as a pencil. We were walking along the trail and we came across a sunny spot in the woods when it looked like one of the sticks on the path started to move. When I first saw it, I jumped backwards because it didn't seem normal. Jig stopped and began looking at it as it moved its body and its head in different directions. I was fascinated, but in no mood to get a closer look. The snake kept lifting its head and sticking its tongue out of its mouth. Jig watched it as it moved closer to his shoe. We've come across snakes in the woods a few times before, and they always slithered away when they saw us. But this one was different because it kept coming closer to Jig's foot even when he took a step backwards. I didn't like it a bit, because it was willing to approach Jig. I knew it wouldn't have any fear of me. I gave a small growl to let it know that I wasn't scared, but deep down inside me, I was trembling like a leaf in the wind. When it turned its head and began in my direction, I gave an involuntary bark, and it paused and looked at me. "Why did you say that?" it asked me. "I didn't say anything," I said. "That's not true," the snake said. "When I turned in your direction, you said, 'Stay back, evil.'" "I didn't mean it," I told the snake. "You must have meant it if you said it, and I felt the vibrations indicating your intent." "I don't know why I said it," I told the snake. "You started coming in my direction, and that made me nervous, and it just slipped out." "I've done nothing to you, and have never shown any malice or desire to do you harm. Why did you call me evil?" "I'm not sure why I said it, other than the fact that when you weren't afraid of Jig and kept moving towards him, I thought there was no way you were going to be afraid of me, so I said the first thing that came to my mind." "So, because you were scared, you decided to address me as a vile creature capable of wickedness. Have any of my species ever treated you with wickedness?" it asked. "No, but you move so much different than all the other animals, and it made me scared. Fear is a natural emotion when confronted with something unknown or new, but to label something as evil without understanding it or its intent shows a degree of recklessness and a bit of wickedness in its own right. I was going about my day, enjoying the sunshine on the path where you found me," it continued. "If anything, I should be perturbed with you for disturbing my nap. But I was curious because I have never seen a two-legged such as the one you call Jig, or four-leggeds like you and the ambassador. We've heard of you, and I was curious because many of the animals of the forest tell me of the kindness of the ambassador and the interpreter. But you call me evil, when I have not shown you any malice, and I am curious why." "I'm not sure why I said that," I told the snake. "All I can say is I was scared because you're different than me and most of the other creatures in the wood." "So, do you call a fish evil?" it asked me. "No, since they are in the water, I've never been approached by one," I told it. "But it is different than you in every way possible. By your logic, that would make it evil." "I'm sorry for saying it, and I don't know why I said it. I'm simply curious because, like most animals of the forest, I am going about my day according to the nature of my being. I offer no ill intent towards any, and yet for some reason, others fear my kind no matter how big or small we are. This fear comes not from us, but because we are different and behave differently than what others are accustomed to. Perhaps, in the future, you should ask questions to help alleviate your fears, and then you will not make a mistake as you just did. With that, it slithered off the trail and under some leaves beside the path. I kept thinking about what I had said and why I said it. I am a little embarrassed to have called it evil because there was never any ill intent in its actions, and I learned that some of the best teachers can be those that we aren't familiar with when we meet them. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.